Hello, namaste, everyone. Welcome to Light, Laughter, and Lattes. My name is Geri Habstritt. I'm a medical intuitive and Avesa quantum healer and your host for Light, Laughter, and Lattes. Welcome, everyone who's listening via Facebook, Oneness Talk Radio, YouTube, Oneness Talk Radio, or even on Spotify. I'm glad you are here. We are in an extremely profound month. They seem to be getting more and more energetically intense as we go, and it's kind of crazy out there. I'm sure you've all noticed. And that is really the motivation for today's show, the 5 ways to stay uplifted, because I am seeing so many people going through challenges right now, many traumas being re-triggered, and it's tough. It's tough out there. The overwhelming energy when 2024 began was this upward spiral and this downward spiral. And literally, we were shown them as, like tornadoes or hurricanes spiraling. So the energy is so intense that you can easily get pulled downward. Or if you stay focused and you stay in the upliftment energy, and you do, many of the things that I'm going to list here as we move along, you can get in that upward spiral, and enlightenment is easier than it ever has been before. And that's usually how things go when the energy is more intense. You have more energy to do whatever it is you want to do. But this can be challenging because the mind goes kind of crazy, the body goes crazy, and sometimes you get sidetracked. There's people, there's distractions, there's, all sorts of things. So to keep that laser focused on what it is that you want to create is super important. Um, in July and August, July, we went through 3 big meteor showers. August is going to be the same. There's going to be 3 more. And this is a massive cosmic bombardment of energy. Those of you who are sensitive, like me, probably feel it the day before, the day of, the day after. And it literally feels like you're being pummeled with energy. Those who are less sensitive are feeling it as well. They just aren't feeling the um, immediate getting hit with the energy, but you're feeling the effects of it after you've received it. And that's part of that's making it so intense out there and so much polarity, because nothing can hide right now. Everything is being showered upon, called to the light, up for healing, as we are in this massive opportunity of unification. So everything is out there, everything is creating, everything is expressing. So it can be challenging, to say the least. And I want to divert a little bit. If you're catching me live, you jump in the chat and say hi. I would love to, know who's out there, who's listening, and jump in and ask your questions. And I welcome you to be a part of the show as well. So let's get on to the 5 ways to stay uplifted. My number one way to stay uplifted is to remove yourself from the news, all of the news, whether it's news that you're watching on computer screens, paper news, certainly the TV news. I know this can be a hard thing to do. Many people feel like they have their head in the sand if they're not watching it. But the news itself is manipulated. It has a fear energy in it that is primarily focused to bring you into fear. And if you are in fear, it is hard to stay uplifted. It is hard to create what you want. Fear of not being safe, fear of not having food, fear of not having water, fear of fear of your life, fear of war. That's a legitimate fear right now. All of those energies affect your first chakra. Your first chakra is about safety of beingness, safe to be you. And if you're not feeling safe, you cannot bring energy into any of those other chakras, which would stop your upliftment, which would stop your enlightenment immediately. And so, those that are pumping this fear into the news media know this, and it will energetically stop you. So, unless you have a really solid energy field, and I mean you have really good boundaries and you've done a lot of work and you can watch it without being affected, you can maybe make your way through it. Most people I know can't. They're immediately affected by it. If there are any triggers around things that are happening, any traumas you've had in your life, all of those things can be triggered through this, and it can be a challenge. So, I would say eliminated it altogether. I have. And what I've placed into my creation field is I will be told, I will be the energy of what I need to know about what happening in the world will be brought to me. And so that'll happen. I will bump into someone who tell me exactly what I need to know. And you can do this. You are a creator. You can have this information that you need to know come to you in a way that can be easily accepted by you without rattling your energy field. And you can still be informed, and you can still be in a place where you have the information that will serve you, as opposed to having energy that's going to hurt you or manipulate you. So there's someone who is sending love and a high and lots of beautiful rainbows and hearts. Thank you. I think it's Sergey. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Um, okay. Also, another point about removing yourself from the news. If you are on the path of awakening, you have more energetic power than someone who is completely asleep. Your open heart is your power. An open heart is that divine power that creates. And if you are using that power by watching the news or watching things that maybe you don't want to have happen in this world, you're adding your energy and your power to create something that you don't want. So I say, guard that valuable energy of yours, that heart of yours, that power of yours, and use it in the way that will help create a beautiful world. Focus it on yourself and self-care. Focus it on service and how you can help the world. Focus it on creating your perfect day. Focus it on bringing your creative gifts out in the world or doing something that brings you joy. And you won't be adding to what you don't want, and you will be serving humanity and yourself in a better way. Okay, so another point on this is the whole head in the sand thing. If you're not watching the news, you may have your head in the sand. So another thing I wanted to add to that is if you reflect on animals and some of the big catastrophes we've had in this world, like tsunamis and earthquakes and those kind of things, the animals in this world don't watch the news to get this information. They are so divinely connected that they just automatically know, and they leave ahead of time for shelter because they're connected and they know. So this ability is not limited to animals. We can all do that. I do this all the time, and I'm sure many of you out there watching this do it as well. When you're outside of other people's opinions, you're outside of propaganda and people pushing their ideas or whatever at you, and you're in a place of clarity, you know exactly what to do. You know exactly where to go and how to go there. And nature is a great way of, I always get more clarity when I go for a walk in nature. So your head will not be in the sand. You will actually be in a greater place of clarity, knowing, and you'll be able to connect with your gut instincts on what to do in situations. So you will actually be, I believe, in a better place if you completely stay away from the news. Okay, so that was just number one. Number two is, which is similar to this, but is to have really good boundaries. And really good boundaries means cut people out of your life that don't bring you joy. If there are people or friends in your life that are immersed in drama, that are, constantly bringing you down, don't feel right, don't support you in the truth of who you are, eliminate them now. This elimination is a saying to yourself, to the universe, I'm done with this way of being, I'm choosing anew, and it will serve you. And I carry these boundaries to my Facebook page. I still use Facebook, but my Facebook page is a place of only joy. If people post things about their political opinions, I sleep them. If they are negative or in a lot of drama, I sleep them. So when I go there, I only find things that bring me joy. So you are the creator. You can set up your experience any way you want to. And this will help you stay in a positive flow, in a positive place. And because you create from your energy field, you will be constantly creating great things because you're only surrounding yourself with great things, right? It's a win win. Let me take a peek here. I responded to someone in a spiritual group around this experience of I pause people who have a lot of drama or I don't engage in drama. And a reaction I received was, how can you be of service if you're hiding from the conflict? And so my response to this is the greatest service that any of those who are awake can be is by lifting your consciousness and holding a higher frequency. If you have reached the place of the fifth dimension and higher, you are um, healing 100,000 people or more just with your consciousness, just by the work that you've done by holding that frequency. And as you move up to the seventh and have released all judgment, you help millions of people. And if you can, once you reach to the ninth, even more. So the greatest way to affect humanity is by staying out of the conflict and holding a higher frequency. And in that space, you're automatically helping the world. So if you are someone that can engage in conflict and still hold that high frequency, which is a space of non judgment, and you can just be the witness of their experience, then I would say, yes, engage in it. But does it really bring you joy? Joy is an extremely high frequency. And if it doesn't bring you joy, then I would say, you probably don't want to do it. It's really hard to hold this high frequency in this state of non judgment when our bodies are innately addicted to the adrenaline rush of drama and pain. Our bodies, because we're physical beings, are addicted to the adrenaline rush of chaos and drama and pain. That's why there's, used to be so many soap opera shows and the reality TV shows and the shoot 'em up movies. Those are all created to stimulate a lot of drama and adrenaline rush so that people keep coming back to it. And it's a challenge to retrain the body to not be addicted to that and to be addicted to joy instead. And if you really notice yourself and notice your feelings and emotions, your body really doesn't know the difference between fear and joy. It creates adrenaline with both situations and it's addicted to both those. So it's a process to retrain the body to be addicted to the joy and the good feelings as opposed to the other. So until you've mastered this, I would say stay out of the conflicts and surround yourself with joy and people that make you happy. Okay. Another good boundaries, and I think most of you probably already do this, but keep your computer screens at 50% brightness or less. There is an energy that emanates out of it that is affects our brains and our minds. Do the same thing with your cell phone screen. Wear blue light blocking glasses. Keep cell phones away from your head. There's all energies in these things that are meant to bring you down. So this is really good. This is actually not only boundaries but self-care. And there's a technique that was brought in by my teacher called erase, erase, erase. And it's an energy that is coming in through all false illumins or lights that is really a mind control that are keeping people addicted to their computer screens, keeping people addicted to social media. I see on my walks out, in nature, people are just looking at their phones and not even seeing nature, and it's largely because of this energy that's got a hold on people. And it's a technique called erase, erase, erase that you can do, that I do several times a day, that will remove this energy from your head. I'm not going to show it right now, but I will put it in the link so that you can go use this. It will offer you great clarity. It's helped some people I know with headaches. I've had friends who are in a lot of chaos and they just couldn't get clear. And I've offered them this practice and it cleared up immediately. So I will include that as well. Okay, another tip for staying uplifted is really good self care right now. The energy is so intense with all these meteor showers and the full moons, new moons, tomorrow, 8 8 Lionsgate. There is so much going on that it's easy to forget about self-care. It's easy to forget about getting good sleep, eating light. With the intensity of the energy, people's digestive systems are noticing it and going crazy. So eating light, and by light, I mean eating the light. So lots of greens and fruits and light foods, and eating, keeping it light, not eating a lot, will help the body move through and process this energy easier and will help the digestive system as well. Surround yourself with friends who support you in your way of being. It is extremely important to do this. It helps the first chakra feel safe to be who you truly are, to be in your truth. So when there's being a lot of energy of the world not being safe right now coming at you, an antidote to that is by surrounding you with friends who help you feel safe in who you are. And this will help to stabilize your first chakra. Focus right now on creating the life that you love. Focus on creating your perfect day. The energy is so high that it's the perfect time to do that. Everything is creating right now. That's why it's so crazy out there. So why not use this energy in your favor to create your perfect day, to focus it on that which you want in your world. Practice removing yourself from challenging situations and lift above and be the witness as opposed to diving into it. This is a constant practice that I use and is great self care. So you're not diving into old ways of being, but you're witnessing it and just noticing it without judgment. And that helps keep your energy in a free, um, non emotional state or way of being. So, what if you live alone? So, I live alone, and I'm not sure what your question is, but what if you live alone as far as, add a little bit more to that question. What if I live alone, meaning you can't find friends to support you because you live alone? Is that your question? So, add a little bit more and I'll come back to that. Make sure to get a lot of rest, lots of water and lots of movement. That'll help you move through these energies. Conscious breath is brilliant. And if you haven't tried somatic breathing, this is brilliant at bringing you in a state of peace easily and effortlessly. It also helps to release any trauma. And I know these intense energies are bringing stuff up in people. So I will do somatic breathing right away in the morning and boom, I'm good. And sometimes you can do it again in the evening and it'll help move this energy very quickly. I'm certain you can find a YouTube channel on somatic breathing that can just guide you through it. I only do a 15-minute session in the morning each day, and it's a great self care and it'll help keep these energies flowing through you. So that's the key. You want to keep them flowing through you. And another great self care is sound baths. If there's a place that you can go, I know in our area there's a free sound bath at the community library every Wednesday. And so I go to these. It is a great way to relax. We are in a harmonic period of time right now. So, harmonies and really good music will help you integrate all these cosmic energies that are coming in. And a sound bath is great to do that. Okay, so another um, tip after good self care is to stay in your heart. It can be really hard right now with the mind being challenged and the physical body being challenged and lots of polarity out there. It can be easy to get in your head and fall out of your heart. And I'm here to say the magic is in your heart. If you can stay in a place of sincerity, love, and presence, you can create miracles every single time. You can turn a challenge around immediately because the energy is creating so rapidly that nothing is fixed right now. You can turn it around. So if you lost yourself and you dove into something and you created something you didn't want, if you come back, you can get in your heart and get in a place of sincerity, love, and presence. You can shift things immediately. And so that is kind of your magic. It's your power, it's your magic, and it will help you move through this time much easier. My final tip is to remember that we are creators. So the final tip is to what in me invited this to be? This is a mastery question, and I ask myself this all the time in every situation. What in me invited this to be? That this takes the victimhood out of any situation. You can't be in a place of blame. So if someone blew up angry at you, then I say, what in me invited this to be? Oh, do I have anger in my energy field right now? What in me called this forth? And from that place, you can shift it. And once you learn that you can shift things, then you know that your power, your ability to create, and you can use that energy, that clarity, that knowing to shift any experience because you're no longer a victim of circumstances, but you're the creator of your experience, and you now know how to shift those circumstances. So I'm constantly saying what in me invited this to be. And from there, then you have the power to change it or not. Okay, so I got a little bit more clarity on this question. I just moved to a new location far away from family and friends. Okay, wow, I would find support system online then. I will type in at the bottom here the self ascension group that I am with. Um, Fabulous support. And we get together quite often. And let me see. If you go to YouTube, official Shri and Kira. So those are my teachers. And they do, we get together on Mondays, we get together on Wednesdays, we get together for classes. We're a community of people that when we do these YouTube shows, we talk to each other in the chat. I would find something like that, if not the one I'm sharing with you now, another place that has these. You can, like I said, can you find some place in the area that you move to that maybe has sound baths? Go to those sound baths. We have a place in our area that it's a kava bar, and they have lots of live music and events for people who don't like to drink but like to drink kava. We also have in our area drumming circles, and you can join those. I would go on a Facebook page and find things in your area that resonate with you. Maybe a drumming circle doesn't, but maybe there's some other things that do. And people who are going to drumming circles and are going to kava events and that are going to sound baths tend to be people who are would be listening to the show, right? So they're the group of people you would likely want to be with or be around. So I would start there. And another thought that just came to my head is, oh, I'm forgetting the name of it right now, but there's an event group that you can, like, I know it's in every town, but you can put all your um, things that you like, all your hobbies, whether you like to hike or ski or whatever it may be. You can list them down, and it'll join you up with groups of people who like to do the same thing. And I know there is kirtan singing groups was one of the things. Spirituality groups was another thing. And so you can find meetups, it's called. You can go into Meetup and see if they have meetups in your area, and just type in all the things that you love to do, and you will be immediately connected with those people in your area. And that's a good way. I've found many friends doing that. Okay, well, I'm going to quickly pick a Cards of Clarity card to see what those who are watching this now and will be watching it later are, calling out for. So what is it today that we are calling in or need to be supported by? Allness. So I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Benevolent Ones, allness. And I'm going to read that for you. Well, if I can find it, I'm going to read it for you. There we go. Found it. Okay. Allness calls us to release the limiting belief systems we have adopted during our time on this beloved planet Earth. What in your life still causes you to judge, condemn, or criticize? Consider each of these actions and then pick one. Example, judge. Write down what you judge and why. Then carefully and intentionally call to your consciousness into the presence that recognizes each of these expressions as part of the allness. Limits are of this world. You are in your truth without limits, as is everyone and everything. To fully discover the many gifts of this world, let go of right or wrong. Fully be the recognition of the many expressions of allness. Let yourself move from judgment to celebration, that all is expressing exactly as it needs to. Okay, so I hope you all have a rest of your a fabulous rest of your week. Excuse me, losing my voice a little bit. And remember, tomorrow is 8/8 Lionsgate. It's always a significant day. I know in the past, the 8/8 Lionsgates have affected the energy flow for years and years ahead. So I'm inviting you to join me wherever you are, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning and 8 p.m., whatever your time would be, to, if you have 108 bead mala, to go around the mala and touch each bead, saying, I'm here. The next bead, I am ready. The next bead, I am open. The next bead, guide me. I am here, I am ready, I am open, guide me. I am here, I am ready, I am open, guide me. And go around the entire 108 bead mala, touching each bead, saying one of those. and do that in the morning and do that in the evening. And there's going to be thousands of us doing this around the world at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And it is a non dogmatic mantra, and it brings magic into your life. It literally calls on everything you need to help you move forward. So join me in that tomorrow and enjoy the magic that it provides. Okay, have a